satisfaction evident in her usually cold voice. Impressive. The lynx auxiliary dropped to one knee, the effort taking its toll on his newly closed wounds. But now, return to the shelter. We can keep fighting, Luna stepped forward, but the auxiliary raised a hand to stop her. I know, he smiled, despite the pain radiating through his body. But your wolf isn't the only one who can move in the shadows. He rose with effort, his claws gleaming again with renewed purpose. Across the hole, the boar master continued maintaining a defensive battle against the fire abyssal, his plates glowing against the corrupt flames. Protect your companions, he ordered while preparing to move. Leave the rest to us. Luna nodded slightly, her wolf returning to her side as the lynx auxiliary launched himself toward the other battle, his speed surprising despite his injuries. Be careful, she thought, while returning to the shelter. The shadow wolf followed like a second shadow, its eyes gleaming in the darkness with protective intent. They won't come back for a while, Ren observed the night sky where the last Medusas were disappearing toward their cave. We have at least an hour before they get bored of following protocol and return to hunt. Taro and Min exchanged worried looks. They knew that expression on their friend's face. He was planning something potentially dangerous. Is the illusion no longer necessary? Luna appeared near the group, her voice cold as always. There was no sign of fatigue in her, despite the intense battle she had just fought. Not for now. Ren studied the continuing battle. The auxiliaries were pressing the fire abyssal, but its corrupt flames maintained a defensive perimeter. I need you all to help the teachers. How? Min asked, his water snake coiling in anticipation. Taro, your beetle can. Ren began laying out his plan. Now you give orders? Luna's eyebrow arched slightly, but there was a glimmer of amusement in her eyes. Suggestions, Ren corrected smoothly. Taro can endure quite a bit with his beetle to defend them in case of attacks. Min, your snake can weaken the pyromancer's control from afar. Just shoot water at him. He turned to Luna, meeting her penetrating gaze. And your wolf can support the auxiliary master with the hawk. What about you? She interrupted. It was not a casual question. She had noticed something in his posture. Ren adjusted the Shadow Stalker skins. I have an idea, but it's complicated to explain. You're going to do something stupid. It was not a question. Her shadow wolf manifested briefly, its eyes gleaming with the same intensity as its owners. Probably, Ren admitted with a small smile that did nothing to ease their concerns. Luna studied him for a moment before turning away. Do not die. It would be annoying to miss Wei's expression when you win the bet. Trust me, Ren smiled while sliding out of the shelter. Coming from Luna, that was practically a declaration of concern. I just need to verify something. The mushrooms in his hair barely pulsed as he slipped out of the hole, leaving his friends with worried but determined expressions. They had work to do. The mushrooms in Ren's hair pulsed softly as he followed the trail of purple blood. The signs of Zhao's pursuit were everywhere. Feather marks in the ground, splashes of abyssal blood, trees damaged by dodged attacks. He thought the professor was impressive while studying the scene, but the thought remained incomplete. His eyes stopped on a silver feather that gleamed faintly. The constant launching and retraction of his weapons, maintaining his silent flight technique, the continuous manifestation of his 3 silver rank powers, all of it required a big amount of mana. Zhao maintained a perfect facade of control, but Ren could see the subtle signs of exhaustion in the patterns of his most recent attacks. What worried him most was his own ignorance. For the first time, the knowledge flowing through his golden mushrooms encountered a void. The abyssals were creatures beyond his current understanding. There was no information in his shrooms about their weaknesses, their patterns, their limits. The thought that the professor might fall made the mushrooms pulse with concern. Without Zhao, they would be at the mercy of these corrupted creatures. The auxiliaries were competent, but against more abyssals? it was a different matter. Ren adjusted the bag on his shoulders. He could not stand by with crossed arms waiting for the best. He thought that he might not have knowledge of the abyssals, but that did not mean he could not do anything. He began to move in the direction the tracks indicated. Zhao continued the pursuit, but the enemies were almost reaching their destination. Only 2 followers remained. Too many had fallen to the hunter's silver feathers. The leader pointed to the semi-fluid being and said, "You, intercept Zhao. We need time." The slime abyssal tensed visibly, its purple eyes glowing with fear. "Sir, against the hunter." The leader's 5 eyes blazed with fury as he asked, "Are you questioning a military order? Or would you prefer your family to experience the new laboratory procedures?" The slime being shuddered. He knew what that meant. He had seen the results of those procedures on the families of deserters and traitors. Without another word, he turned to face the approaching hunter. The abyssal leader stopped beside the massive corpse of the Shadow Stalker male. The leader addressed the tentacled one. "You, prepare yourself. I'll need your core to stabilize the process. A 50-50 chance is better than dying without achieving anything, isn't it?" His 3 mouths twisted into a grimace as he brought his hands to his chest. The black fabric fell away, revealing a torso covered in purple scars. In the center of his stomach, a creature writhed. With a grunt of pain, he plunged his fingers into his own stomach. "My captain!" The tentacled one watched in horror as his leader extracted something from within. A female Shadow Stalker, clearly having been part of him. The creature twisted weakly before dying. "Partial fusion is painful." The leader dropped the now dead beast beside the male's corpse. "But complete fusion?" He stopped, his body trembling from the trauma of extraction. "There's a better chance of success if you help me. But if it fails..." "We'll die," the tentacled one completed. An unnatural opening appeared in the leader's stomach, like a huge mouth revealing entrails that moved like tiny tentacles, each ending in a small, pulsing mouth. "Connect," ordered the leader while kneeling beside the body. "Your core must stabilize my fusion long enough. You must help me circulate the mana, or I'll explode." The micro-tentacles extended, connecting with the male's corpse. The abyssal groaned when chaotic energy began flowing. It was like acid running through his veins. The leader screamed in agony, arching his back when the connection completed. Corrupt energy flowed through all 3, the enormous corpse, the subordinate's core, and his own abyssal essence.
Wait, that's not the end. You've just had a free taste. Now get the full story on the Pocket FM app, link in description. Check out our next video and playlist, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.